One local cultural activist believes that a lot remains to be unearthed about the history of traditional carnival in the Caribbean. Dr. Alwyn Bully says although extensive research has been done by the likes of historian Lennox Honeychurch, the surface has barely been scratched when it comes to discovering how African traditions were handed down. He believes that if persons dig deeper into the roots of the islands, a better understanding of these traditions will help Caribbean people keep true to the traditional masks. For example, he makes a plea for the return of the traditional costume masks, of which the true meaning has been lost.
I've been a little disappointed in the fact that we are losing the traditional way of making masks. Growing up, the masks that were used for sensei was also the wire mask, and these were imported. So they had sort of like eyes and nose and mouth painted on them. But they would be adapted because that was even too easy to see through, in the opinion of most of the masqueraders. So they would put cloth on the inside and just leave a hole for a whistle and another hole, 2 holes for the eyes. So you couldn't see through them at all. And then in places like Corleone for the band movie, they used goat skins to create the mask. So you had some of the fur of the goat skin, or sometimes you clean the goat skin, but they would put different colors of the goat skin together to create stripes or create a design and so on. And it looked a lot more authentic. Now what we have happening is we're seeing a lot of imported American masks coming in. Masks of, say, like American presidents, or from movies like that movie Scream, with the big face, with the big howling face, or werewolves and aliens and so forth.
This, he says, takes away from the authenticity of Dominica's carnival. He wants revelers to bring back the use of the wire masks and goat skin to create the Fiji. This allows for freedom of design and creativity for costume makers. As for having the real mask, every island in the Caribbean claims to have it. Bully says, in a sense, it's quite true. But why?
There's a distinct flavor to every carnival. Like how every island has a strong culture, but we have a particular flavor, which you could say this is Dominican culture. Our culture is just as authentic as anybody else's culture. But what I think we mean is that we do have a large number, and we pay a lot of tribute to the traditional costumes, maybe more so than other countries.
But he believes that there is one thing that is different about Dominica's carnival, one thing that justifies the island's claim of the real mass.
There's a lot of spontaneity. It's been very tough to get bands in terms of design costumes on the road. Most Dominicans don't tend to go for that at all. They go for having a great time on the road. As I say, give any Dominican a t-shirt and a bottle of beer, and that's carnival for them. But other islands, if there are no costumes, they feel that there's no carnival. I think if there's no costume in Dominica, most Dominicans wouldn't bat an eye. They say, it's a good time we're going to have, so whether we have costumes or not, we have a great time on the road. So that may be good, it may be bad. I mean, it's hard to say exactly what the outcome of that would be. A lot of people like to come to Dominica because it's easy to be on the road, while in other countries it's hard to be on the road because the roads are kept clear for the bands to parade.
He adds that others may find that Dominica's carnival lacks color, spectacle and story in terms of the bands on the road. However, it's a matter of taste.
I think the spontaneity of the carnival in Dominica is unique. If you ask me what is real, is that sense of everybody recognizing that we are one nation, even for 2 days, and it might go back to separation in terms of political parties and religions and so forth, the way these two things tend to divide people. On those 2 days, I think we're prepared to forget it and recognize who we really are as Dominicans face to face. I think that's something that's very real and very tangible about Dominica's Carnival. So if I had to be asked exactly what is real about it and what's different about it, I'd say is that openness of spirit, that welcoming spirit, that camaraderie that exists in Dominica Carnival.
In the end, The bottom line remains, the more that is known about the past and how the traditions were handed down, the better the islands, especially Dominica, will develop the true real mass. Kimani St for GIS News.